Hey everyone, this is JJ Bebb with Pointer Post Crop Insurance. Down here northeast of Miami, Oklahoma today, kind of in between Miami and Quapaw, here in Ottawa County. I'm getting ready to jump on the tractor with Zach Rendel. Hey everybody, it's JJ with Pointer Post again. I'm back here in the tractor with Zach Rendel. Zach, tell us a little about Rendel Farms. How long you've been farming? A little about your family background as far as everybody involved and that kind of thing.
All right, well, Rendel Farms, it was established here in northeast Oklahoma in 1893 was when my great-great-grandfather settled here. I'm the sixth generation to farm with Rendel Farms. There's three of us main at the farm. There's myself, my uncle Brent Rendel, my dad Greg Rendel, and I guess there's a fourth, my grandmother Sue Rendel. We all four make up Rendel Farms.
Okay.
We're about a 5,500 acre farm, but I started farming fresh out of high school. When I was in high school, I thought I wanted to be a pipeline welder, so I went to Indiana and welded for about 3 or 4 months. Decided that was not for me. Came back to the farm and been here ever since. So
I think it's good for farm kids to get an off-farm job and experience sometimes to realize what they do miss or how they really do truly appreciate the farm.
I agree. Yeah, being away from the farm, it gave you an open eye for the world and found what I truly loved and came back to.
Yeah. Tell us a little about how plant 2021 for corn is going for you.
It's been going really well for us. Ground conditions, they turned off. First was really muddy, and then everything dried up fast, really fast. Had just enough moisture at 2 inches for the corn seed to germinate, but we were getting a little dry, and then we had 1/10 of an inch of rain that kind of settled the dust, but dried off fast, and then Friday night we had 1 inch of rain, and it soaked everything back down, made a nice perfect seed bed here. So it's going really good. I got about 600 acres left to go, and then I'll be done. So hopefully before the next rain Thursday night.
You bet. As you can see, they had everything kind of worked before this rain. We're planting back into just what was worked before the rain. Looks like everything's planted about 2 inches deep.
Yes, right at 2 inches.
Setting it in there really nice. Zach's really big on technology, as you guys can see. We're running, we've got a deer monitor over here for guidance in fields. We're running an iPad up top. What are you running on the iPad?
Climate field view.
Okay. And then we've got the 2020 controller down here. We've got a nice shelf. He's actually putting on fertilizer as well.
Yeah.
2x2?
No, it's 625/6.
Okay.
From Meristem Ag.
Okay.
And it's right in the seed for a 5 gallon an acre.
Okay. Is that some biologicals in there as well?
There's NPK. There's some zinc, some boron, moly. There's a lot of micros in it, and then it does have they call it Revline, but it's a cytokine product, a PGR, just to help root growth, stimulate root growth, and get it out of the ground fast.
Now, do you guys still run some Pivot Bio?
I am running Pivot Bio in here as well. Yes.
So if you guys have watched Ag Day, Zach is he's kind of famous down here now. He's actually been on a commercial of him running the combining some corn. So what was the line you used in that commercial that they had you say? Do you remember?
I don't. I don't remember.
It's something like acre for acre, or bushel for bushel, pound for pound, or something like that line. Pivot Biofuel. We're going to use it on every acre.
Oh yeah.
We also got his uncle behind the camera, kind of saying some similar words. These guys are kind of innovators in a lot of things. They like to push the agronomy side of things. They're really big on mechanical as well. Tell us a little about how your planter's set up. I know you guys had a planter build here this last year. tell us a little about what you're running on your planter.
Okay, so it's my planter. It's a 24 row 1770. It's kind of a unicorn. I found it out in Indiana. It has the CCS tanks on it, but it's still currently right now finger pickup. It's all mechanical, no vacuum.
Really?
Yeah. So, but as soon as I bought it, it had the deer system on there for monitoring rows, and I wasn't really thrilled with how much information I was getting off that. So I switched everything over to precision to monitor everything. Had Zach run all my meters, and we got them dialed in really, really nice. Right now my singulation is not running the best. We've got some big corn seed here, but it's doing good enough for this year for me. But hopefully next year we'll have this planter completely revamped with precision MSET meters and possibly go into multi-hybrid to be able to have multi-hybrid capability.
Okay. Just on hybrid, what are we planting for maturity wise on days?
We're at 117 day AgriGold right now. Yeah, we tried it last year. We've been, for the past 5-6 years, we've been upping our maturities from 101 day to 104, and we kind of quit planting those and jumped to 108. Really like that. Just kept doing longer season maturities. Last year we tried this 117 day, and it was the best corn we had out of everything. We kind of had some pretty stressful year last year on summer water. Didn't get enough, but it held through and stayed on and did really well. So we're planting more acres of it. But this year our maturities is 108 to 117.
Okay.
A lot of 114 day AgriGold.
Okay. You guys have you guys don't have any bins or anything like that?
No, we haul everything to the elevator direct out of the field.
Okay. You guys, what's your marketing outlook? Are you you guys market stuff ahead of time, or are we kind of wait and see how the crop looks?
We tend to, each of us is a little bit different, but we tend to try and market a little bit throughout the year. I was kind of always told growing up, if there's a plate of cookies there, you don't have to eat the whole plate. You can go ahead and take a cookie. And so that's Brent kind of instilled that into me. So every once in a while we get a nice little rally or something. We'll go ahead and sell a little increment here or there. Try not to sell too much, but I always, up to planting, I usually tend to have about 25% of mine already sold before it goes in the ground. That's not really set in stone, but that's just kind of what I've done the past couple of years.
Gotcha. What kind of soil type are you guys dealing with down here?
We're mainly clay loam, a lot of Parsons silt loam, Toloka silt loam. We get areas that's rocky, not a lot of creek bottom. We've got a couple fields with some creek bottom gumbo, but other than that, it's mainly silt loam, clay silt loams.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. Zach's describing his soil type. What's your guys' lime requirements down here? Do you guys have to lime a lot, or your soil pretty forgiving on that?
It's pretty forgiving. We haven't limed any fields. It's probably been 5 or 6 years since we've really had to lime anything. We soil test every 3 years. Just really starting to get onto a grid sample regiment, but we don't own our own fertilizer buggy or spreader. We hire all that out at the local co-op on dry fertilizer. Any liquid, we do have our own sprayer that we take care of. So getting the grid sampling and doing variable rates has been somewhat tricky, just because some of the farm stores haven't really adopted a lot of that just yet. But they're slowly starting to do that now.
Are you doing your own grid sampling, or are they kind of?
I've hired it out, but I quickly found out I can do it cheaper myself.
Yeah.
So I'm doing my own grids. But we'll see how long that lasts. Time is always of the essence on everything. So
Yeah.
if I start running out of time, then I'll hire it out and have somebody do it.
What's the size of grid? You know, 1.5 acre?
We do
3,
five
okay.
acre, yeah.
Okay.
Some fields are smaller than the others, so we'll do 2.5s on it, but
Okay.
mainly 5 acre grids.
Your ground is a little more consistent throughout the field as far as soil type than north of here, just across the state line into Kansas. Sometimes in my area, you can have 4 or 5 different types of soil within a quarter mile.
Yeah.
And you guys are probably a little that way. But
We have some fields. Some fields are, like you said, are pretty forgiving. Tend to be mainly 1 or 2 soil types.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about machinery. You know, obviously we're on a green tractor today, a green planter. Is there any one reason you guys are green guys, or?
We've just we've always been green. I think the first tractor that my great grandfather owned was a Farmall, and then after that he switched to Deere's. My grandfather Mark, he actually out of the Air Force, he worked for John Deere as an engineer and draftsman. I think 6-7 years he did that, and then had the opportunity to come back to the family farm and start farming. So he did that. So I think that's somewhat part of the reason why we're green guys.
Yeah.
And then our main deal too is service. I have a great dealer network down here that really takes good care of us.
Yeah, you're running a 9230. We don't have a weight, we don't have a power issue here. We got plenty of flotation. Is there a reason you like to run the 4-wheel drive on the planter? Just visibility?
Well, visibility, and then the main thing is kind of what we just did there. I'm kind of unique on my planters. Some of our fields are so small, I just run 24 rows for an end pass, and I found the articulated makes me my turns a lot easier, being able to get back in quicker. I've got some squiggles on the ends, but nothing that I can't live with. It kind of helps find the guest row at harvest time.
I shot a little video before I got on the tractor, kind of highlighting the flag on your planter. Zach does a really good job of Facebook marketing himself, like a lot of farmers do in this area, kind of highlighting different stages of the growing season. Was it last year you put the flag on it? Is that what I remember?
Yeah, last year was the first year I ran the flag on the planter, but years before that, on all the combines, before wheat harvest, and then all through the year, my grandfather would tape flags on the antennas, and that's how everybody knew it was a Rendel combine running, is if there was an American flag on top of it. And I just, last year with COVID starting and everything, it was right here during corn planting season. I really felt like I needed to throw that baby on there. Plus, it looks damn good up there flying.
It does.
So that's the other good thing. But really, and like I said, just flying it all year last year was just kind of a, it's America. Some people may be stopping working right now, but all the farmers, ranchers, truck drivers, everybody's still out running. Got to keep the wheels turning. So that was kind of the main reason for flying it.
You bet. We got a stiff north wind here today. It's really helping carry this flag. Zach is also involved with NEO, Northeast Oklahoma College. Tell us your role kind of here locally with the ag school here.
Okay, yeah, we 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, we started a research farm here at NEO, and I'm just on the committee with them, just kind of a farmer advisory committee. Students come in, want to do research projects or something, we'll help them out, kind of design them, get them put in. Matter of fact, today they're planting the corn plots over at the research farm right here before the rain. So they're taking care of all that while I'm out here running. But we just help out Miss Allison Anderson there at the school, make sure she has everything she needs to adequately prep and equip those students for their future.
How many varieties are they going to have in the test plot, do you know?
There's going to be a small market development plot. I think there's 6 or 7 varieties, but then each student in her master's class has a research project out there. we've got it's a 25-acre farm located in the industrial park here at Miami, just off Highway 69, basically across the road from the mushroom farm.
Okay.
And we've got wheat out there this year. We've got a Oklahoma State University canola variety trial plot, and also a national canola variety trial plot there that we hosted for Mike Stone.
Okay.
And then we've got corn going in on 6 acres. There'll be a market development. There's some population studies going to go in there. Maybe seed depth, and then a little bit of some side dressing stuff that'll go in. But one of the research projects that's I think is really cool. We've been reading a lot here recently about different seed companies doing seed orientation checks. Basically figuring out which way is the best way to plant the corn seed.
Yeah.
Radical down, sideways, up, flipped over, and they're finding that the way that seed is planted kind of tells the way the leaves are going to orient. So maybe one direction is better for harvesting sunlight than the other. So one of the ladies there, the students that she is out there right now behind the planter on her hands and knees, changing the direction of corn seed. I think there's 6 rows she's doing for 17.5 feet, so 1/1000th of an acre. And she is hand turning each seed.
Wow.
And we're going to monitor that and see emergence, look at the emergence rate of those seeds, if there's anything different there. But a lot of work is going into that project, but it's going to be really cool to see the outcome of that.
That is
and it's all student-driven stuff, so
that's dedication to science right there.
absolutely.
And if the kids don't find something interesting out of that, I don't know what would make you more interested. In farming, because that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and something that kind of sets us aside from other farmers in the area is we do a lot of on-farm research. I think we have like 8 or 9 different tests going this year, just on corn itself, from different chemicals, different adjuvants in here, seed, talc, all kinds of different stuff that we're looking at. And then we do a lot of partner research with Oklahoma State University, with those guys at the extension.
If you guys have ever come down here around Miami and ever seen a bunch of field trial days or canola plot in the area, that's more likely it's these guys' farm. I came down a couple years ago when you had a plot day with Oklahoma State. I learned a lot that day about canola. You guys have been messing with that for several years, haven't you?
Yes, about 10 years now.
It's hard to pinpoint. I try to ask any guys that I interview, what's one thing that you guys typically take the most pride in? It's obvious that there's numerous things here with Rendel's. Obviously, it's science and playing with new things and not being comfortable with just that's how Grandpa did it. These guys aren't comfortable with that. They're always pushing the envelope. They go to a lot of meetings. I've seen Zach in a lot of meetings over the years. Doesn't matter if it's machinery or seed or anything. These guys are always on the hunt for knowledge. They're not afraid to share their knowledge either. So if anybody has any questions at any point about anything, feel free to reach out to them. I had a customer last year that was contemplating planting some canola, and I said, hey, I know a guy. So I reached out to you, Zach, and you sent me back no less than 3-page text from start to finish of what you should be doing.
Pros, cons.
Oh, it was everything. It was seed. It was chemical. It was planting rate. It was planting depth. It was just the whole book basically. And you also said, hey, if you have any questions, feel free to bring them down. We'd be glad to talk to them. It was on a narrow window. The guy had to make a decision real quick. He ended up not doing it, but he still wants to come down and talk to you someday, you and your dad and your uncle, about it, because it's the guys that are looking for new things, they're just always on the hunt. So absolutely, there's in agriculture,
there's always something new every day coming out, new ways and things to try, and just help us push that envelope in a small profit margin world that we're in right now. It's always good to find these little nicks and necks, and you know, it may not be a silver bullet, but you may find something that helps get the corn seed out of the ground faster, you know, just whatever it may be. Planting rate, you may be planting too thick of soybean, need to back off a little bit. It just, you never know what small little thing it could be to help push that profit margin up.
You bet, you bet. Like I said, we're going to wrap up here. It's been great to talk with Zach today. Like I say, if you guys, we're going to keep showcasing these farmers throughout the growing season. So, you know, as we were talking earlier, we're thinking, you know, 3 weeks from now, we're going to come back and we're going to walk these same fields that we were in today. We want to show emergence. We want to show maybe some herbicide, you know, recommendations, what they're thinking about, or as they're scouting the fields. And then we're going to kind of just carry that through the growing season. Wouldn't be surprised at some point we don't see some drone footage show up. So just be looking for that. If you guys ever have any questions and want to get to know Zach, reach out to any of us here at Corner Post. If you don't know him, we'd be happy to get you in touch with him. He's a wealth of information, and he's not afraid to share it. And that's typically how most farmers are anymore. Most guys they want each other to succeed, and that's kind of what has built, you know, the success of most American farmers is sharing that knowledge. So hope everyone has a great day. Hope everyone can finish up plant 2021 corn pretty quickly. We've got a chance of rain on Friday. Hopefully it's not too much for some areas that have it. Hopefully if you're dry, you'll get some as well. Wishing everybody the best of luck, and we'll be talking to you soon. Thanks.